Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here, and I'm following up on the Jordan Trifecta deck video, and this is going to be another video during the last 20 minutes of this tournament. My tournaments keep getting better and better competition by the day, guys, so you're seeing some really stellar players here. It's funny, I used to finish top 5 in most of these tournaments. Now I can barely crack the top 25 most days. Some days still finish top 10, but more than often, I'm in the top quarter, but I'm not finishing top 5, top 10 anymore. So I figured in today's video, we'll follow around Jordan, certainly the last 10 minutes of this tournament. But before that, I do want to take a look at this deck too, being played by Monster. It's another no legendary deck. This one is very similar to the Trifecta, but it actually has you can see the first 2 cards there are 2 of the 3 cards in the Trifecta deck. But instead of a Hog Rider, this deck that Monster has been using very successfully so far has a Giant. So the new Trifecta, so to speak, is the Giant and the Musketeer and the Valkyrie card. The rest of the deck is pretty standard in terms of what you'd expect from a normal Trifecta deck. It has the Mini P.E.K.K.A, it has the Poison. It's a pretty good deck, so we're going to watch him here live, and then we'll kind of switch off between Monster and Jordan, covering mostly Jordan, because I don't even think he's lost a match this tournament, at least any that I happen to see. Now, Monster is ahead of him right now in the tournament, but I think that just happenstance, a kind of luck of the draw, depending on what kind of opponent you draw on these matches in terms of trophy strength. So it will be very interesting to see what changes Supercell makes to these tournament features in the coming days and maybe weeks. I'm not sure, but I am expecting something right around the corner. They said they're pretty much reworking the entire tournament part of the game, so that should be very interesting to see. Do you guys think they'll stay with the whole private server type thing where you just play for an hour or more against other players, or do you think they'll change to a bracket type system? I'm really interested to see. We'll have to wait and certainly see what they do there. I'm sure that they're putting a lot of thought into it, though, because I think they kind of declared, self-declared here, that this is going to be a fail in terms of the tournament system. Is not what they had intended in terms of the amount of tournaments available and in terms of the discrepancy between people with legendaries and people without legendaries. Speaking of legendaries, check out this deck that Daryl Death has right here. It's kind of interesting. It's one of these Lava Hound decks, and we'll see if he wins. He's doing a lot of damage to that left tower, but Monster already also took out his left tower, so we're kind of even. Well, not really here. There's only 49 seconds left. I was going to say, if he plays another Lava Hound, he could take down that left tower, and then we'd be even, but he's actually got a ways to go here, and there's also a lot of damage done on that right tower by Monster here. So let's go ahead and see what happens. He played the Musketeer very smartly there, then uses Poison Spell to help kind of eat away at those pups there. So now he plays a Giant in the right lane, and indeed, Daryl Death does take out that left tower. So we're going to see how he tackles this right tower here, speaking of Monster now, and he's going to get, it looks like maybe a hit or 2 with this Giant, and then he plays a Poison Spell to take down those minions. So there's only 100 hit points left on that tower. It looks like it's going to go down, and that's going to be the match here, guys. So 10 seconds left. Lava Hound not going to be enough time to do anything for Daryl Death there, but certainly an interesting Lava Hound deck. But unfortunately right now, no matter how good of a Lava Hound player you are, I just don't think it's the strongest deck type given the current meta in the game. So let's go ahead and swap over to one of Jordan's matches. The first video I shared with Jordan has over 100,000 views. You guys loved watching Jordan play, so I'll go ahead and link that one in the description. I think it's titled Trifecta Deck Played by a Pro, and Jordan certainly is a pro. So here's the deck, guys, if you guys are interested in it. It's kind of a standard Trifecta. Let's go ahead and hop into whatever match he's in right now. So Jordan is playing. Let's go ahead and click on it here. So it's going to be Jordan. It looks like this match just started out too, so it should be pretty good here against CBS. So CBS is playing a minor deck, it looks like, with the Inferno Tower. You're seeing more and more of these Inferno Towers in these tournament matches. Such a great counter, and you know what? You're seeing less and less of these Royal Giant decks in tournament play, and you're seeing more and more of the Royal Giant decks in regular ladder play. Now, why is that? And basically, it's because of the discrepancy between the level. As you get the Royal Giant leveled up to level 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, he becomes very, very more powerful because every hit that he does dramatically eats away at those towers. But at tournament level standards there, he's just not as powerful. So that's why you're not seeing as many Royal Giant decks as you do in ladder play, where most people in Legendary Arena have him way over the tournament standards. So speaking of tournament standards, let's kind of focus in on this match and talk about Jordan. Jordan's only in level 9 in the game, so he's not, I think he might be a free-to-play player, and he doesn't actually have a lot of of cards won if you look at his profile, and that's because he told me he has never been able to get into a tournament other than my daily Twitter tournaments, and those are only $10 tournaments. So unfortunately, folks who don't have access to those high echelon tournaments hosted by these bigger YouTubers and the ones sponsored by Supercell or other esports organizations, unfortunately, they're just not able to get the opportunity to get all these cards. So you see a lot of players like Jordan who are really good, but they just don't have a lot of cards on their profile, so it's kind of deceiving in a way. And you can see here, CBS barely touched his towers there. A little bit of damage to that right tower, but Jordan just so good. And a lot of you guys kind of gave me grief in the comments of the last Jordan video, but I kept reiterating over and over again how beautifully the placement is on Jordan's defending cards. When he places his defending cards, his counters on the board, he really has an uncanny knack for exactly the right area to place his defensive units. So throughout this episode, I really want you guys to pay attention to exactly where Jordan places his cards on the map when he's countering offensive pushes. So that's going to be definitely something to keep an eye on. Let's check in on Monster here. Whoa, let's not check in on Monster here. Dementor totally just 3-crown Monster. So guys, forget everything I said about that other deck. It's not good. Joking. To be top 5 in this tournament, you definitely need to have skill and have a good deck. So let's go ahead. Gabriel, by the way, is playing a really nice tournament as well, so we'll check in on him as well. But let's hop back into Jordan's match here. Jordan going right now against, okay, so this guy here, I have no clue how to pronounce his name, maybe Zagok or Exagok. Either way, this guy's really good too. So let's really pay attention to this match and just give the play-by-play, and then we'll pick up with one of the other matches after this. So you can see he's playing a real giant deck, Zagok here, and Jordan counters with a cannon, a skeletons, and a musketeer. Now Jordan playing the real classic Trifecta deck here, and he always plays the same deck, and he's really good at it here. So he plays the skeleton, which I've seen some people actually swapping off for the Ice Spirit lately. So maybe you guys want to give that a shot if you haven't yet, or if you're not having a lot of luck with the Trifecta deck and you want to switch things up, consider adding that Ice Spirit. A lot of people having success with that. So Jordan really good at comboing this Valkyrie on defense into an offensive push there with that Hog Rider, and the Hog Rider does get 1 or 2 hits off on that tower, and the mini P.E.K.K.A. there is at very low health, so that will be a one shot from the tower there, and now he's rocking a nice early lead here, speaking of Jordan at this point. So let's see what Jordan does here. They're about tied in Elixir. Jordan seems to be about 1 or so behind, and maybe Zagok will make the first play here. Let's see what he does. Probably butchering his name, so it's going to be Royal Giant, surprise. Jordan actually plays that Elixir pump, so he's at a very significant Elixir disadvantage at this point. He plays that cannon, and now he's going to be going against a Princess, minions, and the Royal Giant there. He uses a very savvy poison spell. Now that poison is going to take down those minions and take down that Princess, so that was a very savvy defensive move there by Jordan. Let's see what he does next. Now he has the Elixir advantage again, now that he has that pump on the board, so let's see what he does here. I'm going to guess it's going to be a Valkyrie Musketeer Hog Rider combo, and where is it? Here it is. Hog Rider, Musketeer, and no Valkyrie, but he's going to save that poison spell I think he has up for that, the zap spell he has up for that right lane. So he's still going to get a few hits on that tower with the Musketeer. That is all good there. And now he's just going to have to deal with this one miner on defense. So the miner there, Zagok seems to be kind of poking and prodding with that miner there, not really following it up with much. But this is exactly where Jordan wants to be right now. He is in full Elixir mode right now. He drops down that poison spell, and now he's going to have that Hog Rider with that poison laid down. That's the combo he's looking for there with the Hog Rider, the Musketeer, and the poison, and he does take down that right tower, is able to convert. Now you can see that Jordan is a big fan of countering this miner combination no matter what Zagzok, whatever his name is. No matter what he plays, Jordan is Johnny on the spot with that Valkyrie, because the Valkyrie is able, you can see where he places that Valkyrie defensively. There I am mentioning his defensive placement again, but he places that Valkyrie almost directly on top of his crown tower, and what that does is that's able to take down the miner, and no matter what's coming in the lane, besides minions obviously, he's able to counter that as well. So very nice counter to those miner pushes with the Valkyrie defensively. Now he was able to get about half damage off that crown tower there, but he has to contend with the Royal Giant defensively, so he's going to have to do some quick thinking there. He uses Zap with combination of that cannon, able to retarget that Royal Giant and keep his crown tower relatively safe there. Now he's dealing with 2 princesses. He counters that with a Valkyrie, and he's going to go pretty hard, it looks, on the left-hand lane here. He has 8 elixir. He's going to go pretty hard again against that crown tower, which makes sense because he already does have so much damage off it. So Hog Rider going to get 3 or 4 hits in, and it looks like that's going to be game, set, match. 3 crowns, Jordan, another win by Jordan. Very impressive win there against Zagok, who's pretty good, as I said. I've seen a few of his matches and a few 3 crowns for Zagok as well previously. So Jordan is now in second place. Let's kind of check in here again with Monster, seeing if he can turn his luck around here. So he plays off right off the bat with the Elixir Collector. He's going against Gabriel. Now, Gabriel is really good. So Gabriel has been in first place most of this tournament so far. So keep that in mind here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is truly a battle of the heavyweights here. So there's a Valkyrie in the left lane. Monster's going to go ahead and reset with the Giant there. He does have the Elixir advantage at this point, and Gabriel was able to get down an Elixir Collector of his own. Let's kind of take a quick look at Gabriel's deck here. He's playing the, I wonder what he's playing there. I haven't actually, off the top of my head, I don't remember what he's playing in combination with this Musketeer Guards, Poison, Mini P.E.K.K.A., Elixir Collector, Princess, and what are his other 2 cards? I can only imagine it's a Giant for sure, and then I'm not sure what the 8th card is. Perhaps it's a Minor? We'll have to wait and see. So the Giant is going to town on that tower from Monster there, getting some nice damage by that Giant. People don't understand, I'm sure Gabriel does, but people do not understand that a Giant unchecked on your tower can take over half the damage off that tower. So you really have to play defense, even if it's only a Giant on your tower. So he counters with a Valkyrie here against that Musketeer. It was a good counter there, was able to protect his tower. And interesting here, Gabriel chooses to use another Elixir Pump here and a Princess. He's going to take a hit or 2 from that Valkyrie. 1 hit, thankfully, but now Gabriel is working from an Elixir advantage right now, and Monster goes ahead and puts down a pump here. There's that Giant, we called it. It's going to be a Giant Princess combo, and then he plays a Mini P.E.K.K.A. behind it. So this is going to be tough for Monster to go ahead and defend at this point. He has the Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Princess. His Mini P.E.K.K.A. is going down right now. Poison on the ground. This is going to be tower down, guys. This is going to be tower down, I think. Okay, very close too. And Monster is left saying wow because he did not see that one coming there. So all of a sudden, just like that, guys, Gabriel back in the lead. Now there's going to be a Musketeer versus this Valkyrie. Valkyrie will not get 1 hit off on this tower here, guys. And then it's going to be 2 Collectors to 1 at this point. He plays the Guards, the Musketeer, and the Giant backed up by the Princess. This is going to be a hard push here in the left, guys. A Poison is down. It looks like this tower is definitely going down here, no doubt about it. And it does. The tower goes down. Only 30 seconds left in the match here. We'll see if Monster can come back and do anything offensively. And there it is, a Giant, a Valkyrie, and a Musketeer. But he plays the Guards in the back, and the Guards are going to be able to take down that Musketeer. He does have another one, though. Let's see if he can defend here. It's Musketeer on Musketeer crime, and 15 seconds left. Another Musketeer on the board. There's Poison on the board. Is he going to be able to hold on? There's another Poison, and that was a very well-placed Giant. And he says good game because it is good game. There's nothing that Monster can do at this point. 3, 2, 1, and match is over. Very good match there, and very nice victory there for Gabriel for sure. Monster goes down. No good game. Be a good sport, Monster. Be a good sport. Come on, man. And let's go ahead and hop into Jordan's match here. So we're going to stick with Jordan for the rest of the tournament, and bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Jordan wins again, 1-0. Didn't get the replay, obviously, there. We were too busy watching that Gabriel and Monster head-to-head battle, but Jordan is in second place at this point. Gabriel is still holding on to first place. You can see 57-81 cards won by Gabriel. He is a good player as well. So maybe Jordan and Gabriel will end up facing off sometime during this tournament. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see who comes in first place here. Who's your money on, guys? At this point, I'm thinking, I don't know, they're both really good, Gabriel and Jordan, or it could be a dark horse. We'll have to just wait and see, I guess. I guess my money's on Jordan because he seems to win every single one of these tournaments, even though he doesn't have the cards to necessarily go ahead and prove it. But like I said, he only plays in my Twitter tournaments. That didn't seem like an interesting match. Let's go ahead and hop in on this one, and we'll pretty much just stay with Jordan for the rest of this tournament, guys. There's not too much time left. So he starts out with the Elixir Collector, and look at that cannon placement, guys, causing the Hog to go all the way into the line of fire to that left tower as well. If you don't get the cannon down fast enough, if you're going to put it over there, the Hog Rider will totally ignore it. I'm sure we've all fallen victim of that move before, where we're just a little bit too late on that cannon, and the Hog Rider ignores it and gets right to your crown tower. That's not what you want to have happen there, but you can see that Venom placed the cannon in the exact same position, doing very well defensively on the other end as well. So now already a minute has gone by here. 2 Elixir Collectors to 1 at this point, and we're just going to see what happens. Very similar decks they're playing here, and look at this. Venom is actually playing the deck that I talked about earlier in this episode, guys. Basically the Trifecta deck, but just swapping out the skeletons for the Ice Spirit. A lot of people are a big fan of that. Jordan, I know you're going to watch this episode. Why don't you tell us why you prefer skeletons to the Ice Wizard, and I'll go go ahead and make sure your comment is up top on the bottom. So let's go ahead and see what Jordan does here. He has 2 elixir collectors right now on the board, and he's full in elixir. So he plays his favorite combo. Here it is. It's the Hog Rider Poison combo, and he leaves himself with a little bit extra elixir to use that zap spell, and he's still going to get in 1, 2, and 3 hits on that right tower. So certainly a good combination there. You know he loves playing that combo. Basically, if he can parlay the Musketeer or the Valkyrie with the Hog Rider in the poison spell, that's what he really loves doing in these matches. So it looks like the Musketeer, speaking of Musketeer Hog Rider combo, that's what's going to have happen in the right lane here by Venom, and he's going to defend it using the Skeletons and the Zap spell there, and the Valkyrie, of course, and now he has a Valkyrie and Skeletons going unchecked in the right lane. Is Venom going to let them get there? No, he's not. He counters with a Valkyrie of his own. So let's see what Venom does here with this Valkyrie. Is he going to back it up with anything? It looks like he doesn't. Now, we know if Jordan was on the other end, he'd probably skip on that Elixir Collector and back up that Valkyrie with a Poison spell and a Hog Rider if he had the Elixir for it, and they're both in his hands. So Venom is not having a lot of luck with that right lane, so he goes heavy on the left lane instead with that Hog Rider, but Jordan was there. Johnny on the spot with that cannon, and look at this. Jordan getting a lot of hits in with that Musketeer on that right tower, and then he uses the Zap spell to make sure he takes down that Musketeer in the back there. But look at this, guys. This is a pretty good push here for Venom here, coming with the Hog Rider and the Valkyrie and the Musketeer. The proverbial trifecta coming at Jordan in the right-hand lane. Trifecta on trifecta crime. Jordan's going to use his Zap spell and the Musketeer to really counter that very nicely. There are not a lot of hits, not a lot of damage done to that right tower on Jordan. Jordan's going to go ahead and reload his pump there. This is a good match, guys. It's trifecta versus trifecta. The only difference in the two decks is that substitution of the Ice Spirit for the Skeleton, as we talked about earlier. So it looks like it's going to go to overtime here, guys. This is going to be a good one. Here comes the Hog Rider. I can only bet, and there it is in the right-hand lane. He's going to drop the poison, and there it is. The trifecta with the poison. That's what Jordan wants, and that might get it done here. Hog Rider, 1, 2, 3 shots on that tower, and it is down. Very nice win there by Jordan, and you guys just knew towards the end, as did I, as did Jordan, obviously, that he had it when he had that Musketeer Valkyrie Hog Rider combo with the poison. Jordan is now in first place, guys. Let's kind of hold back and see what he does here. You know what? He might not even need to play, and you know what? The tournament is over, guys. That's it. Jordan wins first. He doesn't need to play anymore. He has a substantial lead here, and let's just go ahead and hang around for a minute or two, see how this one ends. It looks like Jordan has first place locked up no matter what happens at this point. Let's kind of check in on a couple matches here and see what happens. So a Sparky deck, that could be fun. Let's see what other decks are going right now. Fourth place is a Royal Giant deck. Fifth place is a Minor Giant deck. Let's go ahead and check in on this Sparky and Giant combination deck. Oh, and it looks like he is losing here to none other than Jordan's deck. What do you know? So it's a Sparky. It looks like that the Jordan's deck actually handled this Sparky deck very nicely, and unfortunately for D-Mitch, he's going to jump out of, with this loss, he might jump out of the top 10, unfortunately. That sucks at the very end of the tournament. You do so well, you're in fourth place, going strong, and at the very, very end, you lose your last battle, and you get knocked down to 15th place or whatever he's going to be. We'll check on him in a second here, but it looks like at this point, the match is in hand, and you know what? D-Mitch did a very good job this tournament, but he loses at the end here, and AMR with a laughy face. Not cool, man, not cool. Be classy in my tournaments, guys. Be classy. So it looks like, unfortunately for D-Mitch, he actually ends up dropping out of the top 10. No, he's only in 6th place. That's not bad at all. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Let's check in back here with Daryl Death playing this interesting Lava Hound deck, but look at this, guys. It looks like he is losing to this Royal Giant, interesting Royal Giant deck with a Valkyrie, Ice Wizard, and all kinds of different cards, but it looks like Daryl Death has kind of thrown it in here. He just awoken the King Tower with a zap and said, oops. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or kind of throwing the match at this point, but he drops a Lava Hound, but it looks like at this point it is in Neku's favor here. It looks like he's going to win this match. So let's go ahead and take one final look at the final standings after this match is officially over, and we'll see if Jordan pulled it off. I don't think anybody can catch him at this point, but it's been a pleasure again, guys. Like I said, the first Jordan video, I'll go ahead and link in the information in the description below. It was a real fun tournament. I actually caught him on the first maybe half an hour of a tournament last time, so this time was pretty cool that I caught him at the very end of a tournament, so we saw more, you know, I guess higher competition, because obviously the better players with the better cards gravitate towards the top towards the end of the tournament. So I hope you guys appreciate this follow-up video where we kind of highlighted the Jordan deck again, and we took a little glimpse at the monster deck as well. So hopefully you guys found a deck that you enjoy here, or maybe you found some more tips to help you play the Trifecta Trifecta deck even better. Guys, just wanted to say thank you so much for the continued support and for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. I really appreciate it, and as always, take care, guys.